where we'll go to the Oakland Community Learning Center. This is a school that was started by a political organization in the black community of Oakland. Before you can really appreciate a visit to this school, you'll probably need some background information. Well, back in the 60s, a man named Huey Newton started a group called the Black Panthers. They were a very controversial outfit back then because they were critical of the way in which the local police behaved in their community. Many of their members, including Huey, were arrested, and some even served time in jail for their activities. Many people know of the Panthers because of their run-ins with the police, but there's another side to this organization. In Oakland, in many ways a poor community, the Panthers are also known for their projects like the breakfast program for school children and for the Community Learning Center. When we visited the center, we saw that they had a different approach to teaching and learning. We're going to be meeting a student at the Learning Center, a young lady named Kalita, and when the film opens, Kalita is interviewing Huey Newton, founder of the Black Panthers.
Where did you come from?
Well, I was born in Louisiana, in the South, in Monroe, Louisiana. And I came, my family came to Oakland when I was about 1.5. So I've been here about, 34 years. I'm 35 now. I'm an old man. But I went to about every school in Oakland. We moved a lot.
What was it like in your school?
We were being taught mostly about white people. We didn't have any books of our own, so it wasn't. We didn't feel that that the school was teaching us anything about ourselves. So it was a great problem in school for me and for the teachers, and that's why as I grew older, I always felt that as I grew older and learned about our true history, that Africa, before its conquest, was a beautiful, cultured country, and we had great universities in Timbuktu, and I started to look at myself and get a new interest in education, and so that's one of the reasons that I'm so proud of your school.
Look who's here, Punchinella, Punchinella. Look who's here, Punchinella in the shoe. My name is Kalita Smith. I'm 8.5 years old. I live in Oakland, California. I go to school at the Oakland Community Learning Center. My school was started by the Black Panther Party. The earliest age to start going to this school is when you're 2.
You say, si quiero. David. Bueno. Okay.
We don't have grades in our school. We have levels.
Manzanas. ¿Te gustan manzanas?
They put us in different levels based on what we can do.
¿Te gusta? ¿Te gusta?
The schools, everything was a problem. For example, they used to serve cookies and I think graham crackers and milk in the morning to children in primary school who had the money to pay for it. And if you didn't have the money to pay for it, you had to put your head on the desk until the other kids finished eating. I always thought that was very bad, but at the Oakland Community School, everybody eats.
My school serves us breakfast, lunch, and dinner because sometimes your mother or father or whoever you're living with probably don't have enough food for you. Some of the people who serve food are teachers. Yeah. First time I saw Huey is when we went to the San Francisco airport to see Huey come from Cuba. What do you like best about this school?
I like you best, and I like the children best. because the children at the school are, I think, it's just fantastic. We weren't allowed to be free to be creative, and our curiosity was, and our questions about things were slowly discouraged. Whenever I asked a question in the class, if it was an intelligent question, the teacher would think I was just trying to be smart. And I would say, be quiet, you know, or else go and sit in the corner. But the children in our school are free, and they ask all sort of questions, and they, we try to give them an answer. But they teach us so much. I think that you teach us a lot because we need to know the things that you're thinking because you come up with fresh ideas, you see.
And I talked to your mother today. And Kalita, aren't you supposed to be at the Justice Fort meeting? Well, you really have to remember the Justice Fort meeting, okay? You should go up now.
Today, Carol sent me a letter about Sherry not doing her homework. The Justice Committee gives you a method correction if you don't do your homework, if you play in class, if you talk back to teachers or try to fight teachers. Then why don't you do your homework? I just forget about it. I lay it someplace and just forget about it and go on to other things. Why you do that? I don't know. We need a method of correction. I think she shouldn't have no TV when she go home, and she shouldn't have free time. I think the Justice Board treated Sherry okay because she needed a method correction, and a method correction from a teacher or somebody means they love you.
So you finished explaining to me why you can't do your homework. Well, I think that you ought to come to the Justice Board today at 3:30 and talk to Derek and Al about your problem.
Remember in the American Revolutionary War when the British drew a proclamation line and they said that no one could go past that point? Right, and that's one of the reasons for the American Revolution, wasn't it? Because the white settlers that were here from Europe, they didn't like the idea of the British telling them that you can't go into Indian land. They wanted the Indians' land. That's one of the reasons why they fought the American Revolutionary War. So they would have the right to go over into the Indian lands and just take it. And so that's eventually what they did. Now, you remember in our last class, I told you the story of the Apache warrior chief, Geronimo. Who remembers when we last left off in our class? Remember, Gregory. And what was the other chief's name?
Magnus Colorado, and he got his head cut off, and Gregory talks the most during my social science class.
Kalita, why don't you read?
As each new area was opened, pioneers moved in. When an area was filled, new land had to be found. Pioneers kept pushing the frontier westward.
And stop there. And Kalita, who else were they pushing westward at the same time?
Indians.
They were pushing the Indians westward. And this is why they had so many wars, you know? 2, 3.
My brother's name is Eric Smith.
5, 6.
Eric likes karate better than I do because he likes to use it on people sometimes when they mess with him.
In the front, back down. In the front, back down, okay? Every time I count, kick and ki, okay? Everybody, knee-high, okay? Ki, a little louder. 7.
Girls should study karate because it's mostly men hanging around and jumping out bushes. Because a man could attack you. And then if you know karate, you could attack him back. I'm going to do them karate kicks and make them fall like you be doing. My mother knows karate a little bit. When she go out to dinner and parties, I worry about her. because something probably might happen to her on the way home or on the way down there. My mother goes to school at the University of California. She's studying to be a teacher. I wish she studied to be a doctor. So if I get sick, then she'll know what to do.
You're our future. We'll learn things from you, and you will make the future for us. And in doing that, it makes better people out of us because we go on progression and learning. You know, we all have to keep learning about things. Like your mother, she's in the university. She's still going to school just like you. And what I would like most as far as the future of our school is concerned, is to just create an environment where we don't stop you from asking questions. Always ask questions about everything. So that's the only way you'll find out things. And then after you get the answers, don't be satisfied at that, because no one has the whole answer. We only have part of it. And if we pretend we have the whole, we're not telling the truth. It's hard for us to find the answer because we're so used to accepting the old answers. So you're the new people, the new adults.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be.
Now, you have to admit that the Learning Center certainly has a new approach to discipline. I've never been to a school where the students are the judges when another student breaks the rules. I think this system might help the students learn something about responsibility.